What is up? I am Gene Darden with The Real Brokerage. Thank you for landing on this page. Listen, here's what's happening. I'm going to give you this week's Boots on the Ground report. What is Boots on the Ground? Well, I'm not giving you the fancy charts that paint the picture all over the United States. What I'm doing is giving you the update of exactly what I'm experiencing with my buyers, with my sellers in the Birmingham area real estate market. So I can tell you from a week-to-week basis as this market ebbs and flows, what's happening, what you can expect as a buyer, what you can expect as a seller, and ways to win. Listen, if you're a buyer or seller, you do not have an agent, I'd be honored to represent you and help you in any way I can. I'm Gene Darden. Been in the real estate game since 2008. Blessed to do well. I'd love to do well for you. 205-426-1113. If this video helps you, smash that like button, subscribe. That would be awesome. I really need as much exposure as I can get so I can get out there and help as many clients as I can in this tight real estate market. So let me get into what we got going on. I'm going to tell you a few things I'm going to hit on. The first thing I'm going to hit on is condition. The second thing I'm going to hit on is days on market. The third thing I'm going to hit on is buyers and what they have to choose. And the fourth thing I'm going to hit on is an example listing appointment and what our conversation was like as opposed to what it would have been like 6 months to a year ago. All right, so let's get with it. Condition. First thing is with condition on a home. You know, before, and I say before, all the way up until probably the fall of this year, even if your home wasn't in the greatest condition, you could put it out there, especially if you're in a really good area, and you could get what you asked for. It didn't have to be tip-top condition to get tip-top market price. Why is that, you say? Because nobody really had anything to pick from. So if you were in that zone where you could afford a house, even with those high interest rates, and you were buying, you know, it's like, hey, I gotta pay the price. I don't have anything else to pick. You know, I don't have tons of negotiating room. Well, that slowly changed from October till now, and we're seeing an uptick in inventory. The spring market's moving. People are jumping out. Buyers are active. However, we've noticed with that uptick in inventory, the houses that are in great condition, they're popping, show ready. Everything's tight as far as the staging, upgrades, updates, curb appeal, all the things you need to make that baby shine. Those houses are going because there's still low inventory, but it's not as low as it was. And the houses that aren't in the best condition, those houses are sitting and the days on market are going up. So we're back into our normal real estate market where instead of it's a free-for-all, you actually have to go the extra mile as a seller, present your house in its best light in order to win and beat what? The competition, because now there's starting to be some, which is pretty interesting. All right, the second thing I want to talk to you about is days on market. Days on market are going up. So if you're not tip-top condition, your days on market are probably doubling or tripling. However, if you're top of your game, and I've got a whole list of houses you can see that compare top condition to not top condition, the top condition houses are still moving really fast. What is really fast? Within the first couple of weeks on the market. But the ones that need updates, that need work, they're not going anywhere. They're sitting. Why? Because people that are buying, even with an affordability crisis, number one, they got a few things to choose from. Number two, they do not want to spend money on their house. Right now, they just trying to buy the groceries, pay the mortgage. So you want to make sure that you put yourself in front of the competition if that's the case. And with a buyer, make sure that you choose something that fits within your goals. All right. Speaking of buyers choosing, you've got more to choose from. You've got more houses to look at. So what does that mean? Well, that means that I'm starting to see buyers ask for closing costs. I'm starting to see buyers get a little wiggle room. I'm even seeing a few markets around town that aren't the best markets turn into buyers markets. Why, do you ask? Okay, so what happens in these great areas, great schools, super safe, super great reputation, tons of places to go eat, do, all those things, those are held up pretty good. Inventory's still pretty low, and even with the prices running as fast as they were, they've still got enough demand to support what they have. But in those areas where people just settled for a house somewhere because they couldn't afford all the bidding wars and everything in these more popular areas, those areas are actually going the other way because there's no demand serving them. However, people are having to put their house on the market, so the number of houses are going up, but the number of buyers shopping in those areas are not going up. And that's because they've got more to pick from in good areas. There's a little bit more negotiability. That's what's happening. So you can see the different areas. If there is a market correction in those areas that maybe aren't as safe, don't have as good of schools, don't have as good of a reputation, the market correction down is going to be a much sharper correction due to the demand in those areas versus people having other options now to go to other places. Last but not least, I was in a listing appointment. It was in a rural area. And in that listing appointment, they were like, hey, I've heard everybody's going so fast around here. So-and-so sold in one day. So-and-so sold in one day. Well, I was able to show them, well, guess what? All those people you're talking about were 6 to 12 months ago. Let's look at what's actually happening right now. And then we looked, and there were several houses around them in the rural area, even with acreage, which acreage is popular, but they were still sitting, and they'd been on the market a while. And we looked at the condition of those houses. Not great. They just threw them out there, thought they'd snatch up a great number and move on and not have to put any effort. Au contraire. So in that listing appointment, they had goals, and they asked, can I reach these goals by listing my home? And they were ready to go now. And I said, you can reach those goals, but you've got to be the belle of the ball. You got to be perfect. Everything's got to be pressure washed, dolled up, deep cleaned, shined, curb appealed, everything. And then we can reach your goals. But there's got to be a strategy, and you got to go all in. So if you're a buyer or a seller, I've shown you. Number one, sellers, be on top of your game. Number two, buyers, you've got some choices in this market. That's what's going on in the Birmingham area. Again, Gene Darn, 205-426-1113. That's my boots on the ground. Listen, I've linked below those numbers that I told you about. I've linked below the charts for you for free with 5 different top areas as far as what's selling, what they're selling for, how fast they're selling, all those things. It's free information. I'm not going to spam you anything crazy. Just want to add a little value in addition to. So while I didn't talk stats and show you on the screen, it's right there below if you need it. So if you're a statistician, super detailed, it's there. And again, give me a call. Love to help you. All right. Peace. Have a blessed one. See you.